What's going on YouTube? It's Bandwagonbam here reacting to the deadly gang war in Jacksonville. Foolio versus Yungeen. We know Foolio has passed or got killed, passed away. So RIP Foolio. Yungeen, he's a goated rapper. So we don't know how this is gonna turn out. This is documentary slash beef on beef. This is done by UK Drill Plug. So make sure you go check him out in the description below and let's run it.
Famous rapper Julio Foolio, who just turned 26, was shot dead early this morning.
Everybody coming up the spell. Put their song in the air, man. Okay, they done time with silver lit. Oh God, yeah.
Hey, chat. Have you ever had Don Julio before? I don't think I've ever tried it. Is it? What is it? Is it like? Oh, what's that word? The one that put the salt on it and you lick it off. I might buy one.
Now, normally I talk about gang beefs within and around England. However, in this video, I'll be taking a deep dive into the ongoing tragic gang war within Jacksonville, Florida, which has claimed the lives of over a dozen people, with the war becoming deadly once again after the tragic death of Foolio,
can I get in England?
Whose rap lyrics and words would come back to haunt him. Jacksonville is a large city within Florida, and is in fact the largest city by landmass within continental USA. The city is home to around 971,000 residents. However, what a lot of these residents are unaware of is the ongoing and dangerous gang war taking place within the streets of Jacksonville, with it becoming dangerous to be outside near the hoods that have become territory to each gang, with the gangs gaining mainstream success when rappers like Foolio and Yungeen would start dropping violent diss songs towards each other, with these two rappers having been involved with a violent and deadly gang war within the streets that has spanned years, but has sadly resulted in dozens of deaths and other violent incidents within Jacksonville. Now, the gang war I'll be discussing is that of KTA versus ATK, which has gained recognition as it has become very dangerous. ATK is a street gang based around West Jacksonville. The gang shares the same territory as another clique known as Yungeen Gang. This set was repped by Yungeen and his boys around the mid-2010s. However, ATK has become more prominent in recent years, with the name ATK being an acronym for Ace's Top Killers, Aim to Kill, and simply Attack.
Oh, so is Yungeen like the leader, or is his name actually Yungeen and then the Ace is from the ATK?
Another clique that rolls with ATK is known as NHG, or No Hospital Gang, with these two gangs sharing the same membership and beef.
You even make a hospital.
The ATK gang has actually been around for years, with the older generation of gangsters going by DMT, or the Money Team, before changing their name to NHG. Prominent members of ATK include Yungeen, ksoo, Fast Money Goon, and YBZ, with the gang gaining loads of attention in 2021 after dropping the extremely disrespectful track Who I Smoke. The ATK gang has beef with A Block, PYC, and most importantly, 6 Block from North Jacksonville, with this being the main beef I'll be discussing. Now, the 6 Block clique is a group of gangs based around the Hilltop apartment.
That guy with the locks looks massive.
And Moncrief 45th, Northside Jacksonville. This area is actually known to be extremely dangerous. Originally, the 6 Block gang was referred to as PCE, or Problem Child Ent, with a few older members from the area still repping the PCE gang. However, since then, the 6 Block gang has become more prominent.
No, 100%. I feel like Yungeen is gonna feel it. Like financially, he's gonna feel it. 100%. Because like, I know it's bad, but if their best friends died, then they can still diss each other and go back and forth. But because like your main op that raps is dead, it's like, oh, how? As I say in my reaction, like it's like Spider-Man and Green Goblin. We ain't gonna watch Spider-Man for Spider-Man if Green Goblin is not his rival, vice versa.
6 Block actually shares some membership with A Block and 45th, with these gangs forming cliques and sharing the beef with ATK from West Jacksonville. It's also to note that in recent years, offshoot cliques and gangs...
It's like Dragon Ball Z from Goku and Frieza. Dragon Ball Z wouldn't be the same without Goku or Frieza, like literally.
Begun to emerge. An example of this would be WAWG within Northside Jacksonville, with prominent members of this set being La Kraka, K Shorty, and Zabo Stunna. The WAWG gang also shares the same beef as 6 Block, but these offshoot cliques and gangs can actually get confusing. So for simplicity's sake, I'll talk about the main bodies between KTA and ATK, and I'll refer to both sides of the beef as KTA versus ATK. Now, in recent years, members of 6 Block and nearby Y and R from Westside Jacksonville would link up and create an alliance. This this being referred to as KTA, which is an acronym for Kill Them All. The KTA alliance includes the gangs 6 Block, YNR, and Vontaland, and is the gang associated with popular rapper Julio Foolio, whilst the ATK alliance includes the gangs NHG, YG, Rollo Way, and Backstreet, and is the gang associated with Yungeen Ace. However, you may be confused as to why these two street gangs, based on completely different sides of Jacksonville, have a deadly rivalry.
Innit, that is so far. That ain't close. That's like an hour drive.
Now, the beef between ATK and KTA would begin around 2017, when a member of ATK known as Trey Shorty would be allegedly robbed by a YNR member known as Tony Cho. Following this robbery, Trey Shorty would seek retaliation and would get the drop on a PCE or KTA member's home. This member known as Zion or TJ, which is an acronym for Tweaking Jit, with Zion even being the cousin of popular rapper Foolio. Anyways, Trey Shorty would gain access to Zion's house and would begin to shoot at anyone in sight. Zion would be gunned down within the house, as well as his two little sisters who were 9 years old and 16 years old at the time. Sadly, Zion would be pronounced dead on the scene, and his two sisters would luckily make a recovery.
See, that's sneaky, bro. You can't be shooting a little 9-year-old. That's gay, man. That's not like, that's not, you're not, like, that's not a point. Like, if man them are banging and you man are shooting civilians, yeah, the only time you can shoot a civilian if they're shooting at you, yeah, but like, we need to bring it back to the era of like, if you kill a civilian, or shoot a civilian, or shoot a little girl, then you get kicked out or you get fed to the other gang. Like that's how it used to be back in the day.
And would identify Trey Shorty as the shooter in court. Trey Shorty would be arrested following the murder and would be charged and found guilty for the triple shooting, with him later being given life in prison. It was also alleged that Yungeen Ace had something to do with the murder. However, this isn't confirmed. Rest in peace, Zion. The death of Zion would affect KTA members, with it seriously affecting Foolio, who by this time would begin to drop songs in the streets, with him previously getting active around 2013 and 2014, with Foolio even being shot by rivals at 15 years old, as a case of mistaken identity.
No, 100%, 100%.
The death of Zion would actually explode the beef into a war, with both gangs seeking retaliation for their fallen friends, which is crazy as some 6 Block members and some ATK members actually used to chill with each other, with them often featuring in music videos before the beef would get heated. It would be during 2017 and the first few months of 2018 that members of KTA would be plotting to catch any ops from ATK, with them looking for any chance to kill, and it would be on the 5th of June 2018 that KTA members would find their retaliation, and Yungeen Ace would lose 3 friends in one night, and he would be shot 8 times. On the 5th of June 2018, 3 members of the Yungeen gang, including 23, Quan, and 4, as well as Yungeen Ace, would be celebrating the birthday of 23. Earlier on in the day, Yungeen Ace would be observed on Instagram Live with his 2 friends and brother, with the 4 ATK members documenting their day on Instagram. However, what they didn't know was that members of KTA would be watching closely and would be looking for any chance to get their retaliation. It would be on the night of the 5th of June 2018. All 4 members, including 23, 4, and Quan, who was actually Yungeen Ace's blood brother, would be eating at a restaurant. After leaving the restaurant, the members would drive for a few minutes before coming to a red light. What they didn't know was that rival KTA members would be following closely behind. The KTA members would lean out of the car and would shoot multiple rounds into the car full of ATK members. Yungeen Ace would be hit 8 times, whilst 23, 4, and Quan would all be pronounced dead on the scene. Following the attack, Yungeen Ace would be rushed to hospital. He would luckily survive.
That'd be crazy, you know. Imagine like you getting shot, but like you can't even like understand, or you can't even like even deep your wounds because like your brothers and your best friends are dead. Because like after a nigga gets shot, yeah, they play like the sob story, like, oh, I got shot, like everyone come see me type thing, like, but it's understandable. But you can't even do that because like the homies are dead.
Survive, however. He would have lost 2 of his closest friends and his blood brother in one night. To make things worse, Ace would be arrested in the hospital for breaching his probation, as he was seen posing with guns. The murders have gone unsolved till this day, with no one being arrested for the quadruple shooting. Following this violent attack, Foolio and other KTA members would be disrespecting the incident heavily on social media, with Foolio even taking to Instagram as he thought that Ace had died, before finding out that Ace survived the attack. Following Yungeen Ace's release from prison, he would also post on Instagram telling Foolio and KTA members that they would pay for the murders, with the beef becoming very deadly around this time, with it now being published on the internet. It appeared as if Ace wasn't lying, as only a month following the triple murder, 1,200 members would catch a KTA or 6 Block.
I thought they said 1,200 members, like 1,200 people was outside sliding. I was about to say, what? What type of gang is that? That's an army.
Member known as Trey D,
For
who was
sure,
a
one
well-respected
dead.
member of the gang. He would be shot dead by rival gang members at the Out East reunion on the 21st of July 2018. The alleged killers of Trey D were thought to be 1,200 members, which is a gang that has had beef with KTA gangs and is affiliated with ATK gangs. Now, the war within the streets would begin to gain mainstream attention, with the young rappers on each side beginning to get successful within the music scene, with Yungeen and Foolio gaining millions of views, with Ace even dropping a song titled Pain. This was in response to the quadruple shooting he had survived. Due to the fact that 1,200 was also killing KTA members, it wouldn't come as a surprise that only a month after the death of Trey D, KTA members from 6 Block would get back and would kill a prominent member of 1,200 known as Spaz on the 25th of August 2018. Spaz was actually close with Spinabenz and Wapa Wit de Choppa.
Search the size of a 7.62 bullet. Alright, let's do that real quick. Let me search that real quick, Hilo. Give me 2 seconds. I didn't get it. This. You can't survive that. No, that's not good. That's like a sniper bullet. No way. Yeah. No. No, that's the what?
However, members of 6 Block would spot him at a Rains high school football game and would shoot him along with 2 other people, leaving Spaz dead on the scene whilst the other 2 people shot recovered.
So that this is going to be a triple shooting, 2 people injured, 1 person is deceased. Let me step out of the way here.
It's also alleged that a member of 6 Block known as Bibby was responsible for this murder. However, Bibby would sadly fall victim to the streets only months later, with a 6 Block member known as Kenny K being arrested and charged for the death of Spaz. Spaz is often dissed by members of 6 Block, with a video even emerging showing a member urinating on his grave and dissing him, with Foolio taking to social
That's
media
crazy.
and disrespecting him on Instagram. What Foolio didn't know, however, was that a few months later, he would lose one of his closest friends.
And gunfire erupts inside a Northwest Side apartment complex. It leaves this 16-year-old dead.
On the 25th of February 2019, Foolio's young boy Bibby would die. Bibby was also a
some
part of
shiny
6
head.
Block
You lot are
and was
mocking
only
it.
16. Bibby and Foolio were very close. Due to how
Some
close
haters.
they were, Bibby would actually be at risk of rival members due to how hated Foolio became within the streets of Jacksonville. A week prior to the death of Bibby, a member associated with KTA known as K Shorty would tell Bibby to distance himself from Foolio, as rival gang ATK wanted to kill Foolio so bad that they would kill any associates to him in order to affect Foolio mentally. However, Bibby would decide to stay associated with Foolio, and on the 25th of February 2019, Bibby would attend school, and on his way home at around 1 p.m., Bibby would go to Foolio's grandma's house. After this, Bibby would go to Hilltop. Foolio would attempt to stop Bibby from going, as police were supposedly all over the block. At around 2 p.m., Bibby was at Hilltop Village parking lot. ATK members would spot Bibby and would shoot him multiple times. With
Oh, I think I've seen this bit. I think I done a documentary about this part of the Hilltop.
attackers fleeing, Bibby would be pronounced dead moments later, with police and emergency services notifying friends and family, with one of these being Foolio, who would mourn the loss of Bibby. Following the death of Bibby, Foolio would drop a song titled Bibby's Story, which blew up and currently sits on around 9 million views. In this song, Foolio alludes to the fact that Bibby was 16 and already had a body, with him rapping, like Lord, he was 16 with a body on his belt. He was fighting all them demons, couldn't cope it by himself. After the death of Bibby, a member of ATK known as ksoo would begin to post up on social media wearing shirts with the name Bibby in order to taunt Foolio and Bibby's family. Ksoo would also rap about the crime and would even use Bibby's face on an album cover. However, all of this self-snitching would later lead to the conviction of Ksoo, who would be found guilty of the murder of Bibby 2 years later. Following the death of Bibby, members of KTA would be mourning his loss. The KTA members would actually seek retaliation after the death of Bibby, and it would be under 3 weeks later that the KTA 6-block members would spin back and kill a loved ATK member. On the 11th of March 2019, members of ATK including Ksoo, Scotty, and Rollo would be in Waycross, Georgia. Yungeen was also present. The 4 members were staying at a hotel. What they didn't know, however, was that rival members got the drop on them. At around 3 a.m., masked attackers who were allegedly from the 6-block KTA gang would hop out of a vehicle. The attackers would shoot at Yungeen, with it being thought that Ace was their original target. Ksoo and Scotty would begin to shoot back, with the attackers being warded off. However, the attackers would hit an ATK affiliate known as Rollo, who would be killed on the scene, with the other ATK members also sustaining gun wounds. However, they would luckily make a recovery. Ksoo actually raps about this incident in his popular song Been Dead, where he raps,
So what, is Ksoo the Grim Reaper of Jacksonville?
"Shoulda killed me in Waycross. They hopped out with them Ks. Me and Scotty bussing back, we was on the same page." Following the death of Rollo, many members involved with the beef would die. However, if I was to talk about everyone involved in the beef that died, this video would be a few hours long. But let me
Ksoo has 2 bodies. Ksoo's the one where the dad snitched on him. Yo! Is his dad in prison? He killed him up with... Nah, that's Nikki. Hey, Dad, you can't be snitching on me, bro. If you know what I'm on, you can't be stepping outside with me, bro. And you're going to snitch too. That is crazy. I'll kill my dad.
know if you would like an in-depth video. Anyways, in May 2019, ATK members would get back for the death of Rollo and would shoot and kill a KTA member known as Tiki, who was actually mentioned in the chorus of Yungeen Ace's viral song, Who I Smoke. It would be at the start of January 2020 that ksoo would be lurking for any rival members and would end up shooting dead a member of KTA known as Buck, which ksoo has now been arrested and charged for, with his dad even being implicated in the crime and being charged, with this being the second murder that ksoo was responsible for. Ksoo also snitched on himself for the murder of Buck, with him posting on Instagram stating, "Kill a nick, get my toes done," whilst being pictured getting a pedicure. During 2020, the war would heaten up, with two members, one being 35, or Petey, who was shot dead by alleged 1,200 members on the 3rd of May, and the second being a retaliation hit for this murder, which was the death of TK, who was affiliated with the 6-block gang within KTA, who would sadly be killed by ATK members 11 days later. But it would be the next death involved in the beef that would seriously mark a war, this being the death of Lil 9, who was actually cousins with ksoo, meaning that even family members were caught up beefing each other. It would be around June 2020 that a member of YNR within the KTA alliance would begin to go live on social medias like Instagram, this member being Lil.
Nah. I don't think dad will snitch. Do you know what it is? If your dad knows you're doing badness outside, your dad wouldn't chill with you anyway. That's what grown man is on. Like, I'm not gonna come chill with you and go on glides with you. For what? If I don't know, then I can't snitch. Do what you're doing outside, but I can't snitch on you if I don't understand or if I'm not there. I can only snitch on you if I'm there. Like, what the hell? That is crazy.
Lil 9 would frequently go live on Instagram, often taunting his ops, but he would even go live with ksoo, who was his actual cousin, which is crazy as Lil 9 and ksoo have a deadly beef. But it would be only days after Lil 9's last recorded Instagram live that Lil 9 would become victim to the streets. On the 8th of June 2020, Lil 9 would be sitting in a car with his friend who was driving the car. Another car would pull up next to them and would begin to unload around 12 shots into Lil 9's car. Lil 9 would be hit, with the driver attempting to drive away. However, he would drive into a tire shop, smashing through a window. The attackers would flee, and emergency services would be called. However, there wasn't much that could be done to save Lil 9, with him sadly dying on the scene. ksoo would be one of the first people to hear that his cousin had died, and would be posting loads on Instagram laughing at the situation and disrespecting it.
That is crazy, you know? Like, imagine, like, that's what I'm saying, the streets is crazy, because straight away, like, a nigga that beefs their cousin, yeah, if it normally there's like a head hunter to be like, nah, G, like, you don't beef your cousins ever. Like, yeah, this is the streets, but like, if you can, stay away from it. But now, everything's on limits.
Get out! Joke, boy. Yes, sir.
With them even going as far as to recreate the death of Lil 9.
Y'all played. Y'all played. Y'all played. Y'all played. Y'all
Rest in peace, Lil 9. Lil 9 is often disrespected by ATK members, with the ATK members often mentioning his name within songs, with him also being in the disrespectful chorus of the popular song Who I Smoke. Following the death of Lil 9, Mookie from A Block would be shot dead by members of 1200 in August 2020. 6 Block would then get back in September 2020, shooting dead a member of 1200 known as Lou Leakey, who is mentioned loads within songs from Jacksonville rappers. In November 2020, a member closely aligned with KTA 6 Block known as Spaz 2 times would be shot dead by alleged KKG 1200 members, with the death of Spaz 2 times hitting the local Jacksonville rappers hard, with a member of KTA known as La Croca even rapping on a song featuring K Shorty titled Fuck the Ops, with him rapping, "Nick gonna die if they bring up Spaz. Got 100 round mags, boy, you won't get far." And it would appear La Croca wasn't lying, as during February 2021, 2 members of 1200 would die together, these being the deaths of Michi and Bevel, or B5, with the alleged killers being members from the 6 Block KTA gang. It would also be in 2021 that both KTA and ATK would begin to really shine within the underground drill scene, with Yungeen Ace and Fast Money Goon gaining millions of views on the ATK side, whereas Foolio, La Croca, and K Shorty would be gaining millions of views.
See, look, Foolio and Yungeen Ace's Spotify listeners are literally the same.
On the KT.
That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like that man's got any. I don't feel like anyone's got any favoritism. I feel like everybody watches both sides of their story.
Side of the beef, and it would be in March 2021, only a month after the deaths of Michi and B5, that ATK members would drop one of the most disrespectful drill tracks, this being titled Who I Smoke, with the rappers sampling Vanessa Carlton's 2002 hit song 1,000 Miles, with the chorus of the song dissing 4 dead 6 Block KTA members, with the rappers rapping Who I Smoke, Bibby, Who I Smoke, Tiki, Who I Smoke, Lil 9, with each person named being followed by the ad-lib And I Miss You, which was from the original Vanessa Carlton song. Vanessa Carlton also received a lot of backlash for approving the sample of the song, with her taking to Twitter stating, "To the white folks that have been expressing anger and shock over my approval of 1,000 Miles usage in the Spinabenz, Wapawitta Choppa, Yungeen Ace, and Fast Money Goon song Who I Smoke, I invite you to ask yourself why you feel this way." Foolio would see the attention that Who I Smoke gained, and a month later would return fire, with the seriously disrespectful song When I See You.
Bro, to be honest, of course she's gonna approve it. 1, she's a million miles away from it. 2, the song's 20 years old. If she can still get revenue from it, why would she not? She don't care about like these niggas killing their niggas. Like, who would? If you're a million miles away from it, you ain't got brought up like that. Why would you care? Literally.
In this song, Foolio would also sample a pop song, this being Fantasia, When I See You. Foolio would be depicted within the music video, dancing on graves, and even having a printed out picture alluding to the quadruple shooting resulting in Ace losing his 3 friends in 2018. However, what makes this song eerily creepy to listen to now is the bar Foolio would rap, with him rapping. Went out to eat on his birthday, 4 shot, 3 dead in the worst way. He kept dissing on me, now we are smoking 23. What no one was expecting was that Foolio would end up dead 3 years later, with him dying in the exact same way he had been dissing 23 for dying in following the releases of these rude songs.
You know what that is right there? That is karma. That is really, really bad karma. Like, for real.
New eyes from all around the world would be watching the Jacksonville beef, with the songs released by these members gaining tens of millions of views, with the Who I Smoke song currently sitting on around 50 million views, and When I See You sitting on around 47 million views. Even though the music was popping for both gangs, this didn't change the fact that there was an active war within Jacksonville. Now, it would be a few months following the release of Who I Smoke and When I See You that a prominent member associated with KTA would find himself facing life, this being K Shorty, who on the 28th of September 2021 would spot a member of 187 Boys named No Face. K Shorty would then shoot him multiple times, killing him on the scene. No Face would actually be close with Spinabenz, who has also gained attention in the drill scene, dropping songs like I Don't Smoke Kendre and Dumb Ways to Die, both gaining millions of views. Now, the beef between KTA and ATK would quieten down around 2022 and 2023, with a lot of the members focusing on music and making money. However, only recently, the death of KTA's most prominent member would once again spark a war that will most likely result in multiple people dying.
11, a Jacksonville rapper who made numerous headlines.
Tampa police are trying to track down whoever killed Jacksonville rapper Charles Jones.
There are still no arrests following the shooting death of a
His name's
Jacksonville
Charles.
rapper known as Julio Foolio.
We can't do it for my birthday, man. Everybody coming out to spell.
On the 23rd of June 2024, Foolio would be partying with friends in Tampa, Florida, as it was his birthday. During the night, Foolio was active on Instagram, posting updates and showing where he was at. Foolio would then update his followers during the early hours of the morning, showing him walking into an Airbnb with girls. He would also have dropped an address to a pool party. However, what he did not know was that members of ATK would be watching and waiting for any chance to get the drop on Foolio. Foolio would leave the party and would travel to a Holiday Inn where he was going to stay for the night. Whilst he was on the way to the hotel, members of ATK would be slowly following, and on arrival, the attackers would open fire, shooting all 4 members in the car, killing Foolio, which is crazy as this is the exact opposite of what happened to Yungeen Ace and his...
Do you know what's crazy, yeah? If I was a member like them, man, yeah, there's certain days I would just have security. Like, if I know the ops died on one day, I'm going to make sure that day I got security just so I don't go out on that day specifically. Because then that's just, everyone's going to be laughing at me times 10. Like, my man's already laughing at him because he went out on his birthday. Now they're going to laugh at you because you went out on your birthday and you dissed about it for so hard. Like, nah, G.
3 friends years prior. Foolio's windshield would be shot up dozens of times, with Foolio being pronounced dead on the scene, which is crazy as he had dissed 23 for dying on his birthday. Since the death of Foolio, which was around a week ago, no one has been arrested with a murder investigation being launched. Yungeen Ace would drop a song only hours after the death of Foolio, this being titled Do It. This song gained loads of attention and currently sits on 5 million views and is number 5 on trending YouTube music. Ace wouldn't stop there and would go to the studio making another song which just released, this being titled Game Over, which as of now has amassed around 1.5 million views in only 13 hours, which just shows how much attention the gang war has right now. Yungeen Ace would drop the preview to Game Over on his Instagram, with the Foolio account even commenting calling it trash, with this prompting hilarious responses like, Granny's voodoo is working, the fuck, and also references to him being rebooted. The Game Over song would drop at 6 p.m. with this being a slide.
Nah, that's not right, that's not right, that's not right.
Diss towards Foolio, as Foolio was a part of the 6 Block gang and often repped 6. In the Game Over song, Ace raps, 5 in the morning, I got a call, what is this? Dead on the floor, dead on arrival, Mr. 6. This just being one of many bars within this song where Ace disses Foolio. He also raps, 4 in the car and one of them dead, 3 got hit. Another thing Ace would rap would be, tell the ops come outside and slide for 6. And it would appear that members of KTA would be sliding, as only days after the death of Foolio, a member of 1200 known as Fizzle, would be shot dead at an intersection within Jacksonville. Fizzle was actually Leaky's blood brother, meaning that both brothers had become victim to this ongoing war. Fizzle was also a dad of 3 and was closely aligned with 1200. Following the death of Fizzle, members of the KTA alliance would be quick to start posting. Fetty Osama from A Block would post a picture of Foolio on Instagram following the shooting, and La Croca would also take to Instagram, posting this.
Great win today, fellas. Took care of business. That's what we needed. Enjoy your next 2 days with your loved ones, everyone. But don't get too comfortable because we still got a lot of work to do.
The loss of Foolio is a big loss to rap
They're
and the
savage.
KTA alliance, with KTA members mourning his loss and preparing for a war within the streets. If you have learned anything from this video, make sure it's to stay away from the streets, as this life
100%.
never leads to anything good, either jail or death. A prime example of this is Foolio, who had millions of dollars and millions of streams, but due to his gang ties, he was killed in the exact same way his op was killed. Rest in peace, everyone in this video. If you enjoyed, subscribe and like.
Nah, that is mad, you know. RP Foolio though, Julio Foolio, man. RP him, man. I don't know what Yungeen Ace is gonna do because I don't like right now. Yungeen Ace's pockets are going up right now, just because he's capitalizing off the situation. But you can only capitalize off a situation for so long. And my man that kept the fire going ain't there to keep it going no more, vice versa. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Yungeen Ace will probably get arrested or federal Rico ATK. Yeah, but they can't really do none. I think a lot of these beefs are petty, man. A lot of these beefs don't need to be started or finished via a gun or a knife. I feel like a normal fist fight will do it, because like you get more anger off of like beating someone up. Like I don't know how badly you lot have beaten someone up here, but like it's easy to shoot someone. It's very easy, and like you don't even get the satisfaction of it because like sometimes they don't even die. So like if you shoot someone, it's like yeah I shot him, but like if you're beating someone up with your fist and you're actually putting in your effort and like working them properly, yeah, They're like you just see their face and like their blood come out, and it's a different vibe at the end of the day, innit? Like genuinely, it's a different vibe. Like, yeah, man. If it's something deep, like they killed your mom or robbed your grandma or like kicked your grandma down the stairs, then cool, slide, innit? But a lot of these beefs starts over like a girl or my man's on your block. But these man can't even be on each other's blocks because they're so far. See, shooting at people's moms, yeah, then that's crazy. Shooting at people's moms is crazy. Now it's like all off. Like all bets are off now. But listen, you lot, tell me what you think about yourself in the comments below. As I said, I don't know what's gonna happen now. Is there a next upcoming rapper from Foolio side to take over like with Young and Ace? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, man, RIP everybody lost to this sense of speech, man, at the end of the day. But we out. Peace.
Back out, slap it out, short but I bang it, pack it out. Man just ping it or ching it. If I ain't did it, I still bring back it out. Trials probably hits got baby, hits got crazy, rip man's